Greetings, Carl Richards here. In this month's Society of Advice membership call, we workshopped how to find our thing and also how to help clients find their things. It's one of my favorite topics. Now, there was a ton of participation in this call, so there were golden moments sprinkled through the whole thing. But one of the massive takeaways for me was that we can reframe being wrong as just new information that helps us course correct to being a little less wrong tomorrow, right? I love the idea of wrong equals new information. It doesn't need to feel like heavy burden, terrible, I'm bad, I'm wrong. It's just new information on our journey, right? To help us be a little more right, a little less wrong tomorrow. That was my key takeaway from the call. Now, if you would love to join us or know a friend or a colleague that you think would enjoy the Society of Advice, the place to go is the societyofatvice.com/membership, because we would love to have you. Cheers, my friends. In a simple environment, you do a process goes on, which you totally understand, and you get B. That's a simple environment. You can explain, when you're at B, you can look back and explain what happened in the process. So you do A, you get B. Now it's really, really important to understand. Yeah, we'll get to, I want to talk about success porn in just a second, but simple environment, you do A, you get B, and you have explanatory power looking backwards. A complicated environment, you do A system goes on that's a little complicated. That was probably too complicated. A system goes on that was a little complicated, and you get B. And the hallmark again of a complicated system is like you can understand, especially with the benefit of hindsight, you can understand what went on. You can explain it. You can say, look, I followed these 7 steps and I got a result from A to B. And it's generally replicatable. Like if you follow these 7 steps to get from A to B, you can have a high confidence that it will work. In a complicated environment. So this was complicated. In a complex environment, you do a very complex thing goes on, and you actually are not sure what you get. And one of the super important things about a complex environment is that even with the benefit of hindsight, you have no explanatory power. From the literature, what people say is, and I think this was David Snowden, who's like the leading complexity theorist. What he said was, with the benefit of hindsight, even with the benefit of hindsight, all you're left with is story and myth. Greetings, Carl here. The clip you just watched was from a membership call, which is part of the Society of Advice. And in this call, we dove deep into one of my favorite topics, which is finding your thing. Like, how do you find the thing that you want to do? You know, the change that you want to make, the difference that you want to make in the world. How do you find it? And by extension, how can you help clients find their thing? I absolutely love this call, and I think you would too. In fact, I think you would love the membership. The membership is for people who give financial advice for a living, who want to do meaningful work. That's who the membership's for. And I think you would love it. In fact, I think you would love it so much that we created a free trial for you to come and see. So to take your free trial and to see what the membership's all about, just click the link below to get started, because we would love to have you. Thanks, my friends.